Welcome back to Cafecito Corner, episode 8. We actually did not go to Starbucks. We made coffee at home just because we had no energy this morning. Actually, my second cup of coffee. I woke up and I think I was still sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about today. I don't know. Maybe I was super jet lagged, but yeah, I could not get out of the bed either.
Yeah. I literally was showering and I think I was still sleeping in the shower. So I had to make myself a hot coffee.
Did you almost drown?
Yeah, literally. And then this is my second cup and I made it cold because I need another cup of coffee.
I know. I mean, the coffee we have is pretty good.
Yeah,
the
it's
Nespresso.
strong.
You can't drink it black though, but that's fine.
But it's strong. Are you still on black coffee? Because last week you were drinking all black coffee.
Yeah, but I left this week and I wasn't able to fast over there. I was dying. So I'm gonna start back up tomorrow.
To the black coffee?
Black coffee. And sometimes tea, but I'd rather do black coffee than tea.
We're on the struggle bus this morning for sure. But we are here and we are gonna play a fun little game today. It's actually called Let's Get Deep. Questions for couples. So I'm excited.
Yeah, the episode where we played the other one did pretty good. That that game was really fun.
Yeah. Let's get into our peak and pits of the week. My peak was that I've been super excited because I've been planning my birthday party for next weekend. So I've been really busy with that and just getting inspo online, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and actually everything is like Barbie themed. Like every time I open up my Instagram, there's a Barbie outfit, Barbie drink.
Yeah, because of the movie coming up.
Mm-hmm. So I decided to do my birthday party Barbie themed. I think it'd be super fun. I've never done a Barbie themed party. Well, I've never done a themed party. So I'm like, you know what? This would be so fun. So I've been planning that and it's been exciting ordering outfits. I literally ordered your outfit too.
Is it Ken related?
Yeah, so you're going to be my Ken, obviously.
Do I have to dye my hair?
You're going to be my Mexican. My Mexican. That's going to be so funny.
Your Ken word?
My Ken word? Is that what you said the other day?
Yeah.
You're going to be my Ken word? I'm dead. I'm going to call you Ken word that whole day. But it's been exciting. I'm like getting all the decorations ready and like prepping and doing all of that, trying to get everything ready. So that was definitely my peak of this week. And then probably my pit was that this will probably be your peak and pit too. But my pit this week was that you were gone. And I missed you.
And that's going to be mine?
Yeah. You were gone this week, and it was so weird because I don't think you've taken a trip that long. Like, it was 3 days. It was a week. It was a 3-day trip.
I did one in November.
I don't remember that.
When I went to Mexico.
Yeah, I don't remember. But it was just so weird because, like, you were gone, my parents were gone, like...
Well, yeah, last time I left, you went with your parents, so you probably didn't feel it as much.
I didn't feel it at all. I was like... Didn't even notice, but because you guys were all gone, it definitely felt weird this week. And I didn't want to sleep alone here at the house. So I actually told my brother, I'm like, let's just have a sleepover because I was freaking out. I don't like to be scared at home. I mean,
so you both went to your parents' house?
Scared alone.
Instead of you going to his house?
Yeah,
because of the dogs.
The dogs, yeah. It was a whole thing. I didn't want to...
He's a dogophobe.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have dogs at his house ever, so I just felt bad if they would have ruined something. But we were like, you know what, let's just meet up at night. Like, let's just do our regular routine, meet up at night, and just sleep there because I'm too scared to sleep alone.
You guys end up doing, like, sister-brother things that you never do before, no?
No, it's because it was during the week, so we were working anyways, but...
That's good.
Yeah, it was nice. We bonded.
Did you even watch a movie at night?
No, because we would get there so late from work. So, yeah, that was weird. I think in the middle of the trip, one of the days I was like, oh my God, like it hit me for some weird reason that you were gone. Like I was like, I literally don't know what to do with myself. And I was like, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to edit the podcast.
Did you get a little depressed then?
I didn't get depressed. I got like, it was just a weird feeling. I don't know what it was. But yeah, never leave again while my parents are gone, please. Because I feel like if my parents would be here, I wouldn't like it.
They would have probably taken you to Rocky Point.
Yeah, we would have been like, let's go to Cali. Let's go somewhere. It would have been fun. But yeah, that was my peak and pit of the week. Definitely a weird week. But I'm glad you're back. I could say I definitely missed you for once.
Yeah.
But what about you? My
peak was probably going out there. I went to Charleston, South Carolina. I saw my friend, the one that I said that was in the accident. So that was pretty good. I was just happy to see him. I think he was happy to see me too. Got to spend some time with his family, kind of help them with the whole situation. So overall, it was good. I mean, definitely different, but yeah, it was good. Just to be able to help out in any way. Mm-hmm. And peak, probably that too, because I mean, it was kind of like also very emotional and hard at the same time. So definitely took up a bit of my peak and pit for the week. But besides that, it was probably like the time change. Like there was 3 hour difference. I was exhausted when I got back. And it was so humid out there. It was so bad.
You were jet lagged for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, we were trying to do things because we couldn't be at the hospital all day. But we just could not do anything. Like it was 91 with like such a nasty humidity. And
you were walking to a lot of places too. So.
Yeah, because I mean everything's closed. That everybody's like, there's no point in even renting a car. Like the hotel was like literally like a 4-minute walk to the hospital, and everything else was walking distance. The only time we Ubered or used the car that the other guys had as a rental was to like go to Target and buy some groceries and stuff like that. Yeah. But no, it was cool. I mean, Charleston, South Carolina. I think you would like it.
Yeah, it looked like a movie, like a town that you would see in movies. Like it was.
Well, it has a lot of history to it. I didn't know that. And actually, one of the days we went to go eat barbecue, and I went into like a food coma.
It was so good.
It was so good, and I was surprised. I mean, obviously, I would assume they would have good barbecue and stuff, but I was just surprised about how much better it was than anything I've had out here. Yeah. And like.
Arizona has no good food though. Like.
Yeah, fair.
Nothing.
And I went into a food coma, and like all the guys were like, "Well, we still have like a bunch of time. They're like, do you want to do a haunted dungeon tour of like the city?" And I'm like, and I wasn't even paying attention. I was just like dying, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay you guys back." And so I give them the money or whatever, and we show up, and then they're like, "So now to the haunted part." I'm like, "Oh."
So you didn't even know it was haunted because you were like didn't. Still.
Yeah, I was about to back out, but then they were like, "Are you serious?" Like, so I don't know. I felt
we're gonna have to clean you up with like a leaf or something. Yeah. To get the bad vibes out.
The whole thing was like her showing us photos of like things she's seen, or like the people are like, "Look from your tour last night what we found." I don't know. That was freaking me out. So.
But was it like a church or what was it? What were you touring? Like what was
like
a building?
Historical buildings that like there was a dungeon like where they would keep like prisoners, and there was like a balcony where like this like really famous like daughter of a president would like look down to his girlfriend. I mean to his boyfriend, and the dad was never okay with the relationship. So like you always see this girl walking around there looking for her boyfriend to come throw away. Oh like it was just like the craziest things. And what else did we see?
I'm so surprised you did that. Yeah. I would have walked out. I would have been like, "Oh, it's haunted. I'll meet you guys outside."
I mean, I just didn't want to be the only one to be like...
No.
No, but I try not to pay too much attention to it.
I don't mess with any of that haunted stuff, any scary movies. I don't know.
I mean, the stories are pretty wild. Like, of things that have happened. So I was just like, wow.
What's scary is, like, the difference between that and, like, seeing a scary movie is, like that actually happened.
No, and that's my problem. Like, I can do scary movies because I'm like, well, they're making you get scared. Like, it's fake. But this is, like, she has a photo. The whole town has, like, a like a belief that this thing exists or somebody has seen it. And actually one of them, like the whole hotel's haunted. Like they took us there, like to the outside, and then like, do you guys want to go in type thing? I'm like, nah. That's where I was like, I don't know. It gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Because it was like the
so
only
scary.
hotel that survived like this like massive earthquake that they had, and I was like, nah. Even if I got offered to go there, I wouldn't go.
Arizona surprisingly has a lot of haunted places, like Jerome, Prescott. I think when we
Isn't Old Tucson haunted too? That's what I have heard.
Yeah, probably. And we actually, I didn't know this, but like a couple months ago, we had a family trip to was it Prescott? And my brothers were like, let's go have a drink at this bar. And they didn't tell me like that it was haunted. And I literally got so mad. I'm like, why would you bring me here? Because I don't mess with that stuff like at all.
But to me, it's like the more you think about it, like the worse it's going to be. So to me, I wasn't thinking about it, so it wasn't too bad. But it was like when she would whip out the phone.
Oh my God. She's like, look at these pictures.
She's like, look at this photo. Look at this photo. I'm like, oh my God.
No. Even like going to the bathroom, I was so scared to go alone. And I'm like, I just don't like that. I just don't like thinking that there was stuff like that.
Yeah.
The only place that I would like to go to is in Seattle. Was it Seattle where there was like a, what is it called? Like a jail in the middle of like the island?
San Francisco.
San Francisco, sorry.
What is it called?
Catalina.
What?
I'm all Catalina Islands.
No, it's
something with a C.
Oh my God.
Come on.
I don't think it's with the C. You threw me off with that.
Okay, it's not with the C then.
You really threw me off. I don't know. I'm break afraid right now. So
something over there in San Francisco. I would want to do that for sure.
I think it starts with an A.
Alcatraz.
Alcatraz.
We should go there.
I think we should, but you have to book in advance for a long time. So
that's what happened to us. We were already there. We're like, let's go, and it's like it's booked out for 6 months. I'm like, great.
It's something you have to plan kind of in advance.
Yeah. So, but that's crazy. You went to haunted museums.
Yeah, I mean, definitely different. But the architecture there is insane. Like the roads are pretty crazy because like they kind of had to build around what's left behind. They haven't like tried to destroy anything historically, so it was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Very different. I think you'd like it on good weather conditions. I don't think you'd like it in
any type of humidity. I won't do. Like, absolutely won't do.
Yeah. But no, it was good.
How was the plane, like the fly back?
It was good. So that was my first time ever flying like this airline called Breeze, and it's because I like to fly direct only. I hate like connecting flights, but if I was needing to do it, I was willing to. But then I saw that this one airline had Breeze, called Breeze, had direct flight. So I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna look it up. It ended up being kind of like a cool airline, and for a very decent price, they had like this like first class type thing. Like you even got free food, like free M&Ms,
M&Ms,
like pretty quality stuff compared to like Southwest throwing you a bag of peanuts this big, right?
Yeah.
So they reclined, and they even had like foot like recliners, like all the way. So that was nice. That was my first time ever being able to sleep on a plane, but it was because I got sick.
Oh.
I don't know what it was. I didn't even eat anything, but I think it was like this apple juice I tried or something. I don't know, maybe.
You messed your stomach up.
Yeah, and I was like needing to throw up and stuff, and like I was like, hey, can I use your restroom? And we're like waiting to take off, and she's like, no, you have to wait until we're in the air. You'll hear WB. I'm like, I'm literally about to throw up. So she brings me like this Costco sized bag, and she's like, just throw up here. Like we can't go to the restroom. I'm like,
while people are boarding and like watching you throw up.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You know. So then, like I see the plane moving towards like the runway, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, we're about to take off. It usually takes a couple minutes to get in the air. Like I'll be fine. And then we're like on a 4-mile like drive runway to like get to the runway, because like we have to pass like they have a bunch of like Air Force planes and stuff like that. So we're passing all the planes. I'm like, oh my God, you're lying. And the AC's not quite going yet because like the engines aren't fully in. So I was dying. We finally get in the air, and I'm pretty sure we're still at an angle. But I know that girl could just tell that I was about to puke on everyone.
You were probably looking pink because you always do that.
Yeah, and she was just like, ding, and I hear the ding, ding, and I was like,
running.
I ran, and like I just puked real quick, and
lovely.
And I got out and I had a line, and it took me like a minute, but I think I just had a bunch of people where I had to pee or something. I felt so bad. Like that was the most embarrassing.
That's what I hate about flying is like needing to like go to the bathroom. It just grosses me out.
Yeah.
Like, because it reminds me of a porta potty.
But that plane had 2 bathrooms, so that was cool.
Okay.
They had one in the back. I think the back even had 2, so it might have been 3. So it was nice, but like everybody on the first class area was going to the front one. I was like, I just puked it up. Oh, but I didn't leave it dirty because like it like cleaned it pretty well, and I made sure I was like, if I puke too much, I'm gonna clean, or ask them for something to clean real quick. But I didn't. Like it was literally just like fluid because I had nothing in my stomach. But no, that was bad. And I went back and I was like, ma'am, like, do you sell medicine? And she was just like, no, we don't. And she's like, but I have my personal one, but just don't tell anybody.
Don't say anything.
Yeah. So she brings me like this pill box, the size of a toolbox. And I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like searching there. I don't even know what's what. But then she's like, lift it. And it's like all labeled. And so I found something. And yep, I like laid down, knocked out 3 hours, and like in an hour after that we were here.
I cannot believe you threw up on an airplane.
Yeah, no.
Thank God I wasn't with you because I would have been like, you need another seat. I'm not sitting next to you.
Yeah. But the good thing was that the first class was like half empty. So I flew with one of like our buddy's friends, and I was like, Mike, like I'm not gonna throw up next to y'all. I'm gonna move to the front right now. but since I never threw up on the actual seat, I was like, I never moved.
Thank God I didn't go with you because that would have been a whole show.
It would have been a show type thing, but
I'm good. I'm glad you're back, and we're back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yep.
Other than this morning, we were both like
live on air.
Yeah. We were both going through it this morning, but actually before you left, we did have time to go see a movie, and I wanted to see this movie because I've been hearing like a bunch of good things online about it. So we saw it. It's called The Sound of Freedom, and Edward was like, I don't know if I want to see it because he doesn't. It's like really sad, and I don't think you do well with like seeing stuff like that, especially when it has kids involved. But I was like, I really want to see it. Like, I really want to see what people are talking about. So we saw it before you actually left. And I think it was a Monday, and it was packed. Like the entire movie theater was packed.
And it was like probably about a 250 seater auditorium.
Yeah, it was a big one. Which I was surprised because I'm like, I feel like it's a small film. Like they're gonna have it in like the small arena or whatever, small theater. And it was packed.
But I think it's actually been doing better than like Indiana Jones and stuff. That's what I was reading online. So I mean, even though it's a small film, it's been pulling a lot of numbers. Because
everybody's been talking about it online, so I think everybody's like curious about what it's about, like me. So literally in the middle of the movie, the screen starts like breaking up, and like
it's just choppy. Like
it's chopping, and like the words are not aligning with like the picture. So it was like I looked at Edward and I was like, "This is weird."
But it's pretty normal.
I was like, is this normal? Like, I don't know. It's never happened to us, but I guess it's normal.
Well, like, usually, like, a projector's, like, downloading a file or transferring something because, like, I mean, sometimes, like, it just uploads something, right?
Yeah.
Then it'll do that. I mean, just because, like, it's a projector, it's got a file, you know? Like,
it was breaking up, and then literally, like, 10 minutes later, in the middle of the movie, seriously, the movie just completely goes black. And then all the lights went on. All the lights went on, and then the manager came out and was like...
Well, that's why they went on. Yeah. Like, because, like, the manager came and turned them on.
Yeah, no, I'm not thinking that... I'm not saying that this is,
I thought you were saying, like, out of nowhere, the lights turned on.
No. Okay, I'm saying the manager came out, and the lights went on, and he's like, hey, folks, we're having technical difficulties, and then, like... He just said, like, it was overheating, and I think it was literally one of the hottest day that we've had. So I'm like, damn, that's crazy that they overheat. And then everybody just starts yelling at the manager, like going crazy. And they were like, oh, is this happening at other movie theaters? And he's like, yeah, like it's actually pretty normal, like it happens. But
well, no. What happened was that, like he said, we think either the projector might be overheating or it just needs a reboot. It's just really hot in that area, and around this time it gets like that. But we're rebooting it right now. And just from reading online, I think there's a conspiracy that, like, you know, this movie's not being, like, people don't want people to watch this movie, like certain people type thing. So I think, like, there was some conspiracy theorists in there or something, or they just read about that, because I've been seeing a lot of that online. And the manager comes in and he's like, oh, like, we'll be back in like 2-3 minutes. Like, it just takes a bit to reset. So he resets it, and he's just standing there because obviously, like, so I used to work at the theater, and like he was there in case somebody complained. He gives him a pass, come back at any time type thing. And they don't care what movie, you can come back and watch that movie, right? So like they all start screaming like, oh my God, like you can't hide the truth. And I'm like, this guy just works here, you know? Like I felt so bad because like I know he's just there for customer service type thing, you know? And then like the other one was screaming because they're like, is this happening in other theaters? And then he's like, I don't know. Like I can tell you that in this theater it's only happening in this auditorium right now. All the other showings are fine. Just to like give them some ease of mind. And I think people were trying to make it a little conspiracyist. Yeah. And like this lady finally was like, I think it's just a technical difficulty and we all need to chill out.
Yeah. Because it was like 2 minutes that we had to wait.
Yeah. And it was not in the middle of the movie. It was a total beginning. Like the movie was not interrupted. And even, I don't know if you noticed on the way out, they stand there because if somebody complains, they give you a pass for the inconvenience.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like it happens all the time. Yeah. It was a hot day. Like calm down.
Yeah. And after they reset it, it was exactly what they thought. It was the whole movie played through. That just goes to prove you it had nothing to do with the conspiracy. Like it was just a technical difficulty.
And you were like, let's go, like let's just leave, because I think you were just like tired that day. And I was like, no, the cheese is good here, like let's just stay, because everybody...
Well, it's not that I was tired. I just hate, like, first of all, I'm not one to complain. So imagine like a theater full of people screaming at a guy that just like wants to do his job. I felt really bad, and I could tell at the end he was getting frustrated, where he was like, no, I don't know about other theaters, but I can tell you this theater is only happening here. And I was like, good. Like, I'm glad he said that, because, like, they need to chill. Like, things, like, accidents happen all the time. Like, I'm sorry that it happened to be this one movie that has these conspiracy theories right now. Like, yeah. But I'm glad they got proved wrong. The whole movie went great. And it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I recommend everybody to watch.
Edward wanted to say, you just wanted to say, like, hey, I worked at the movie theaters. This happens all the time. And I'm like, no, people are literally going to throw their sodas at us, their popcorn at us. I'm like, let's just stay quiet.
Like, you had people screaming, like, the truth needs to be told. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's not that serious. It's just a projector, you know? Or sometimes, like, well, back in the day, like, if the bulb was off, like, you know, they would just swap it real quick. Like, whatever it was, like, they would take care of. And I don't know if with the remodels they still do that, but I'm like, dude, like, this happens all the time. Like, these things are running all day long. Like, you know, but it's fine.
But we got through the movie. We stayed. We watched it, and it was really, really good. Like, I'm glad
I think everybody needs to watch that to just understand like how big it was. And it's cool that it's based on a true story, that guy helped so many like kids get out of
awesome
child sex trafficking. So that was an amazing story. From what I understand, actually, like Netflix and a couple other studios had the opportunity to buy it. They just didn't. So this studio picked it up. They released it. So that was kind of cool. Yeah. How it is a low budget movie and it's doing so great. Like, that just goes to show you don't need to spend $300 million on a movie to make an Avengers movie for it to do well, right? Like, yeah. So that's good. Yeah.
And I'm glad we went to support it. And
yeah, you know that there's like a writer's strike and now the actors join, right? Yeah, like so again, it's back to that, like, there's a couple of people that have kind of predicted a collapse of like the movie industry. Like, the $300 million movie is going to, a couple of them are going to flop. And recently a bunch of them have, like The Flash, like just big movies have flopped that have millions of dollars poured in them. And so the writers went on strike because like they don't feel like they're getting compensated enough for such big movies, right? And like all this money goes to all these random things, in the studios and stuff, and even the actors don't collect like you're supposed to be getting residual income, you know, from those. So a bunch of like actors have been showing like huge shows like Gilmore Girls, like you know, they'll get like Orange is the New Black, the show that kind of really put Netflix on the map a little bit.
Oh yeah.
One of the girls uploaded that she gets $30 like maybe a month, and it's like, you're kidding me? This show still probably does really well. So I don't think it's about like, oh, like actors need to be paid more because now the actors joined. You know, it's more of like, I think they're kind of saying companies are just like unfair, like type thing. I don't think they're fighting for. It's not about the wage or anything. I really do think that's like, this is ridiculous that the money's not evenly distributed.
Yeah, it's just unfair in that industry.
Yeah, it's like reading how like all these huge actors were like, attacking like, you know, CEOs like Disney CEOs and stuff because like, I think he's making like 400 times the amount that the CEO was making more than, you know, an actor, like their lowest working employee. I'm sorry. So it's like insane, like the amount of money that. So I think they're protesting that, like this gotten out of hand, and that was like Disney CEO that they were protesting. So I was like, dang,
that's crazy.
So yeah, I wonder what it's gonna do to like the movie industry. I think a lot of projects got put on hold, like Deadpool 3, like the Wicked movie that's coming out from I don't know if it's...
Is it Disney?
Yeah, I want to say it's... Well, they're protesting pretty much all the studios, like even Netflix, even like... Yeah, Disney owns a lot of the studios, so that's kind of why they're taking probably one of the bigger hits, but it is what it is. Hopefully we'll see some change.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
That's crazy. I had no idea that was going on.
Yeah, it's been going on for a bit.
I'm going to have to read more into it, but... You ready to get into the game that we have for today?
Yeah.
So this one we actually picked up from Target as well. They actually had a lot of couple games.
They did. I was surprised about.
Yeah. And
it's probably for like double dates, triple dates, type things.
Yeah. We'll have to do a game night with these ones. So I guess there's 3 categories. There's icebreaker, deep, and then let's get deeper.
Yeah, so I think they go in that order.
Yeah. So let me get the cards out. Do you want to start with the icebreakers?
You have to.
Yeah. Alrighty. Let's do it. So, first question. This is a good one. Is it better to be a kid or an adult?
Kid.
Kid.
You just don't have a worry in the world. You're so innocent to know all the bad and the good and all that. So I think kid.
Kid, yeah.
You?
I think so too. You don't have any responsibilities of bills, any drama in your life, car payments.
But it probably all depends on who you ask. Like I bet there's people that, you know, got out of a bad childhood and are having a great life right now. Yeah. But if you had a good childhood for the main part, I think you really miss your childhood because you have such cool memories. And I just believe like the innocence of a kid. Like remember like Santa Claus, like that was so
Tooth
cool.
Fairy.
Or like your first time at Disneyland is very different than like, obviously you have new memories at Disneyland as an adult. Like maybe you took your girlfriend for the first time, you took friends for the first time, but like in a way I don't think they beat your first time like walking in there going like wow, like, you know.
Do you remember your first time at Disney?
Yeah, I do. I remember getting this balloon that had like the Mickey balloon inside, and I was just in shock that a balloon could be inside a balloon, like, and my dad could not explain to me how, like, that was a thing. Well, I think he was explaining to me, I just didn't understand it, and I was just like in shock. I was like, I don't think you get it. Like, there's a balloon inside a balloon. Like, you know. Aww. So I remember that. Yeah.
I do not remember my first time at Disney, so that is
well, that's sad.
Yeah, we probably have pictures of it, and I think like as a kid, like I think a kid's imagination is like just amazing.
And like there's like childhood videos of me like opening gifts, and like my dad used to give me like the biggest RC cars. Like I was huge into like little RC cars, or Toy Story, or like well, what else was I big on?
Spider-Man, no?
Spider-Man, yeah. So those were like my 3 big things, and so I remember like I would always have like one of each for Christmas. Like it was one Spider-Man thing, one Toy Story thing, and then like a big RC car. Like I used to have an Escalade, a Hummer.
Oh my god.
A Batmobile, and a Yukon. And they were all lifted, like huge RC
You
car.
were big balling when you were young.
So I remember I'd open it like the biggest box, and I'd just be like, wow. And like, there's videos of me doing that. And like my mom and dad are like just like smiling. I think it would just, you know what I'm saying? Like you bring so much joy as a child.
Yeah.
Like to a bunch of people, like picture like, you know, when you give a kid a toy and they're like super ecstatic. Like I feel like a lot of people feed off that.
Yeah.
So that's why to me being a child is like amazing. Like I don't know.
And it's crazy, like, when I was, like, a kid, like, all I wanted to do was be an adult. You just rush growing up. And...
You do. And I believe it's because, like, you want that freedom of, like, I'll make my own money. Yeah. You know, my parents say no, no one will ever be able to tell me no. But at the end of the day, like, they're both good for their own ways. To me, it's just, like... you know, there's not a thing like you stressed about as a kid. Like you weren't hit with like real life problems type thing. So that's the cool part. But
yeah, definitely I would be a kid for sure.
Yeah, forever. No, for sure.
All right. Do you want to do the next one?
Yeah. But should we go icebreaker deeper?
Yeah, let's just do icebreaker deep and then deeper.
Okay, so deep. Between us, who's a better cook?
Probably me. For sure.
Well, I don't know about that. You burn frozen pizza.
Okay, that happened once. And...
No, you burned something else. What was it?
Oh, I don't remember.
Was it top ramen? I'm just kidding.
No, but we need to tell them the story about your eggs in the microwave.
Well, that was not my fault.
This was a time that I think I almost broke up with you because...
No, you didn't.
I had... literally just finished cleaning the entire house. Deep clean the house. Yeah. And you I think we got it clean too. Yeah, I think we got it clean, like professionally cleaned. And you decided it would be a wonderful idea to put like hard-boiled eggs that were cold in the refrigerator. They just buy them in a packet.
Yeah, I bought them on the Target pack, I remember. Yep.
You put 5 of the eggs that are cold in the microwave for, I think you put 5 minutes in the microwave.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. And I'm not going to blame you. I didn't know that you couldn't put hard-boiled eggs that were cold in the microwave. Like, I didn't know that either. I wouldn't have put 3 minutes. Maybe I would have put a minute only. And I was like probably on the couch and you were in the kitchen. And all of a sudden, I hear an explosion. No.
Where were you?
Oh,
you were in the kitchen right next to it.
You're right. Yeah. I was, yeah.
You were next to it when it swung open, it almost hit you.
Behind my head was the microwave. Yeah. And I was washing dishes. You're right. I completely forgot. And an explosion, like the loudest noise.
Just goes, boo, and the door swung open.
Yeah. And literally bits and pieces of eggs everywhere.
All over the microwave, all over the stove, and on the floor and everything. And the thing is, like, the microwave is like on top, so when we were cleaning it out, it was getting out the bottom. It was a mess
on the stove, on the floor, and like you were cleaning it up and it would like spread more.
Yeah,
it was an absolute nightmare, and I was trying so hard not to like yell or get mad because it wasn't cleaning up.
Well, you couldn't yell at me because you had already spilled the coffee on the white couch.
Yeah.
You want to tell that one?
Okay, we can get into that story.
Well, to finish up the other one, you know, like how the microwave has like holes to like air and stuff, like filters. I remember like all the egg was there. I was with the toothpick getting it out because I mean it smelled like crap. I didn't want anything in there.
Yeah,
and I just told you like go away.
I had to completely walk out because the thought of you cleaning that and not cleaning it well, it was just driving me nuts. So I was like, Edward, I'm gonna go upstairs, and once you're done deep cleaning it, I'm gonna have to clean it 3 more times. So just let me know when you're done.
Yeah.
Because it was an absolute mess, and we had to clean it like extremely good, because if not, the house would have smelled like rotten eggs. It was the worst.
Boiled eggs.
Rotten boiled eggs. No, but over the time, if we didn't clean it well, it would have been rotten eggs. Yeah, it was. That was the
it was fun. Yeah.
No. Not fun, but you can tell the story of when I spilled coffee. That I think you got even. First of all, we got even.
No, not at all, because that happened probably 8 months after we moved in together. And the first like couple weeks we bought a white couch, like white couch. And you were always on top of me of like, don't eat Cheetos there, don't eat hot Cheetos, don't drink anything in there. Like if I even rested water next to me, like it's like really put it on the coaster. Like it was unbearable that I started sitting somewhere else. And you know, if I gamed on the white couch, like, oh my god, you're gonna get dirty. Like, yeah. So we have a table behind it, and the couch goes like this. I have a table behind it, and I could see the TV. So I would always sit on the table, eat my breakfast there. And I don't know why you decided it's okay to throw yourself at somebody that...
I did not throw myself.
That has a hot beverage in their hand.
I went to go hug them because I was leaving.
But you threw yourself.
No.
How would you have hit it so hard?
I just went to hug you, and I think you weren't expecting me to hug you, so I like kind of scared you a little bit. And you're the coffee.
No, don't blame any of that on me. That was your arm. That was your swing. What do you mean you scared me? I didn't jump like that.
I was turning off the record button. We're gonna fight.
Yeah, no, you hit the cup. So I had it in my hand, I remember, and I saw you moving way too quick, and I was like, oh my god. So I try to move it like as far as possible. And you go, bah! And like throw yourself at me, and I just get burning coffee on my legs, all over the couch, all over the table, and then we're moving the table, more coffee's flying onto it, getting all over the floor, and I'm just like looking at you like there's just no way.
I've never seen that look in your eye.
No, in my head, I just wanted to say, I'm glad it was you, not me.
I think I think God that day made it happen the way
you took the whole day off cleaning the couch all day.
I had so much to do that day, and I literally...
You went to pick up the green little machine from our friends.
Yeah. Our friends that lived in Santa Valley had the green machine. My friend that lived in Phoenix had the best cleaning solution. So I literally all day was going to get stuff, looking stuff on YouTube, Googling stuff, talking to my tias and asking them what I should do, talking to my mom. I mean, it was... You would think that it was an explosion in the house, but it was just... The darkest coffee was an espresso.
I was drinking black coffee that day too.
And
then what did you say? You go,
I blamed you because
the first thing you said, you go, are you freaking kidding me? Black coffee? I'm like, what the hell? Like, this has nothing to do with the black coffee.
I was mad at you because that day you decided to do black coffee, not even creamer.
Yeah, and you're like, no creamer. I'm like, and I remember I looked at it, I was like, there's no way you're flipping this on me. There's no way. I'm going to leave, but you know this is you. And then you just smiled. And you were like, no!
Yeah.
And like, I was like, yeah, this is where Edward puts his shoes on and leaves. I didn't even finish my breakfast. I bounced.
I think that day God was testing our relationship for sure because.
Why? It was all you. Like,
I was mad at you because you decided to drink black coffee.
The first thing you go, really? Black coffee? No creamer today? I'm like, what does that have to do with the fact that you dropped this?
But the thing is, like, we need to go back to the start because it was your fault because you were looking...
You would have caught a lawsuit.
Listen to me. You were looking cute that morning and I wanted to hug you before I was leaving
with the hot beverage in my hand.
And I just wanted to give you a hug.
I could have gotten a 3rd degree.
This is what I get for being romantic and for being cute. But literally...
Or not thinking that I have a hot beverage in my hand. If I saw you walking around with the hot coffee, the last thing I'm going to do is squish you. Like, it's going to go on both of us. We're going to get a 3rd degree. I sometimes do ask myself, if that would have been me, like, would I still be hearing about it? Because we never bring it up.
Would you still be here is the question.
No, yeah. Would I still be hearing about it?
Hearing about it? No.
Yeah.
So that was, I love how that completely turned into that. But, yeah, we definitely got tested by the name of God for our lives that day.
God has nothing to do with this.
Yes, it does.
No, he doesn't.
God helped me.
God knows exactly what went down.
Alrighty. Let's get into... I don't think we'll be able to finish these cards, but let's get into deeper. Okay, this is a good one. If a fortune teller could tell you one thing about your future, what would you ask? I think for me, I would ask the fortune teller, how many kids am I going to have? Because if it was up to Edward, I would have 10. And if it was up to me... I
wouldn't want 10.
If it was up to me, I would have 1. But I just think it would be so interesting.
You're not afraid of the only child syndrome?
No, I would love that child.
And that's the problem. No. You would... I know how you are. You would shield them so much that he'd be afraid to touch dirt. No. He needs to have a sibling so that they can fight, pull their hair. Look.
2 is just a lot to handle.
Aileen took a while to come, but
your sister.
Yeah, but me and Emily like grew up side by side because we were only a year apart. She saw me shave an eyebrow. I showered her in baby powder. She used to do ponytails, and I asked if she wanted to play barber, and she said yes. So I chopped one of her ponytails off. I did. She cried, but guess what? She grew up.
And this is Emily,
my sister,
the second
child. My like the one right next to me.
Yeah,
we're only a year apart. Yep, same thing. We almost killed our younger sister.
See, this is why I only want one kid. Yeah. Because if not,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
We used to have a huge dresser. We opened up all the cabinets.
Yeah.
I climb up there. Emily would always tell me which channel to put because I couldn't see the TV. And then she was like, keep going. And then that's time I'm like, you want this one? And then I see her climbing up with me, and we both just fall like this with a huge TV. And our baby sister was on the bed. Oh. And the TV bounced off the bed. We got lucky.
See, this is why I'm only going to have one. Because I'm not going to have situations.
No, but you need to go through stuff like that. Like, I feel bad for my mom. Like, I remember Emily and I would play, like, let's shop. Like, let's go to the mall and shop. And we would get all the clothes off the closets, put them in trash bags. And my mom would come back and be like, why is there not a single thing on a hanger?
I would have killed you guys.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, an only child's not going to do that. Who's he going to play, like, mall with?
I'm going to take them to TJ Maxx, to Target, and we're going to be best friends.
No, but you have to do stuff like that.
I just can't.
Yeah, like, I swear. I remember one time, too, we had a bunk bed. And I told Emily we were going to play slide. Mm-hmm. So I tied a blanket to each corner of the bunk bed. And then I put it at an angle and I put 2 heavy toys so it looked like this. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, okay, slide. And I sat on it, but I went straight down because obviously the 2 toys on the other end couldn't hold my weight.
Oh,
and my mom came in and she's like, you could have like broken your back. Yeah. And I was like, well, but now we know we can't have a slide in here.
I cannot believe you guys did all of that.
I swear. The pranks I would do on her, when my dad got our first computer, I'd play Mario on it all day because he downloaded it on there, okay? Then, there was this thing that it was like, okay, smile for a camera. and I found it because I think he put it on there to prank people, my dad. But I found it and I was like, oh my God, Emily's going to love this. And it would be like this ugly doll that appears at the end and be like, oh my God, that's so scary. So I'm like, Emily, look, I'm like, I remember it was an HP computer. I was like, look right here.
Yeah. So you're telling her to smile for a picture.
I'm like, smile for the camera. And so she's like this. And then this like ugly doll appears. She'd be like, ah!
No, is it the one that where you're like, it's a video of like a car driving, and then at the end it like pops like a scary
something
little
like
girl.
that, yeah.
Oh,
but this is like smile.
No.
For a photo, and I was like, it's gonna be on the computer now. We'll make a photo, and then she'd be like, see, and then bam, scare her. You know, stuff like that as a kid, you need that.
But if I think about it, I was basically an only child because my 2 older brothers.
That explains a lot.
And I came out. Great.
That explains a lot.
You're so dumb. No, my 2 older brothers were like, the age gap was so... I basically was an only child, and I grew up and I was very mature. Like, people probably think I'm 27, 28.
Were you doing taxes at the age of 3?
I was doing taxes at the age of 3, exactly.
Wow.
So, I don't know. I honestly think being an only child is fine. Like, as long as your parents are strict with you. My parents were strict with me. And
okay, but you come from a different time. Now, like, you know, to keep a kid like that occupied, like, you would want to give him everything. So you would have to give him
an iPad,
a Nintendo, like, because he wouldn't have anyone to play with.
I don't know.
Or he'd be playing with you, or she.
Yeah. I think it'd be fine.
She's like, let's play dolls. You're going to play dolls?
Yeah, I would.
To me, it was always so funny because, like, I was never, like, sentimental with, like, my dad. But, like, I remember... my dad and I just had like a weird like stiff relationship, and then I'd be sitting on the couch and my little sister comes and she's like, I made you food, and here's my dad with an empty cup going, yummy, you know. I'm like, God, his life looks miserable.
No, and you just asked your dad like, what is the square root of 21?
Yeah, I'm like what's the square root of that? And then I would be doing math homework and here comes my little sister, I cooked you some food. It looks like ass, and you'd have to try it. Like,
ew, well, we already talked in the last podcast. I'm not eating anything my child feeds me because that's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, what's this brown thing?
Absolutely not. Okay, but what is a question that you would ask the fortune teller that you would want to know in the future?
Oh, that could get real deep.
I don't make it deep.
Because, like, okay, if you were presented the opportunity, would you ask them when you die?
No.
You wouldn't want to know when you die?
No, because what if they tell you, like, in a month?
But then you have a month to live the like, I would go into debt to, like, go to all the places, like...
And leave me with the debt, honey.
No. Like, I'm just saying, like, there's obviously things I want to do, and I go, I have a month.
Debt.
Huh?
The thing you would do is go into debt.
Yeah, like, go buy a Ferrari. Drive it 2 days. Like, you would not want to know.
No,
I think it would be scary to know.
I think that is, like, the worst thing ever to know when you're gonna die. Like, I think you should just live life to the fullest every single day.
Well, I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
No,
but at the end of the day, I don't think I would want to know either.
Or, yeah, what if they told you something really sad and, like, now your whole life is, like, you're anxious to know that day or anxious to know, like...
Yeah, like, it'll become part of your everyday life.
Yeah.
Like, I have 365 days left.
No, I think that's ridiculous. Well, bad question to ask them. What would you want to know? What's your wedding gonna look like?
Yeah, I'm so excited to see if it's Star Trek themed.
Okay, Edward, if a fortune teller you could ask them one thing about your future, what would you ask them?
I could ask them anything.
One thing.
I would ask, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I'm just kidding, but...
I'm gonna kill you. What would you ask them?
I would ask if you made me get rid of my collectibles and my video games.
Why would you want to know that?
Because I need to sell them when they're at their highest.
At some point when we have kids, you're going to have to sell them because we're not going to be able to have a 10-bedroom home to fit all of your crap.
Well, what about, like, an office?
No.
That's one thing I'm huge on. Like, I know kids are usually drawn by the things I have, but they will not touch them.
Edward, when you're at work, I'm going to be like, kids, you got 1 hour to mess your dad's room up. Go. And then I'm going to be like, I don't know how it happened, babe. They got into it. I think...
Sounds like you're the problem.
I think at some point, you're going to have to get rid of your toys. You got to pick kids or toys.
I would say they both go pretty well together.
I don't think it's a good mix. I don't think it's a good mix because you are very, like, you don't like people touching your, like...
I hate people touching my things.
Before I touch your toys, you're like, did you sanitize? Did you wash with hot water?
It's not that. It's just, like, I don't understand why you have to move them the way you do. Like, you're so aggressive with everything. You're like, does his hat come off? I'm like, do you have to throw your arm out doing that?
I'm all, this looks better here.
Yeah. Or, like, when you're like, can I have this? I'm like, I don't even think you want it.
Like, there's a little Toy Story thing that I would want to put on my desk, and I think it's so cute, and you're like, no!
No, like, what would piss me... Yeah, growing up, Emily used to do that to me a lot. Like, Aileen was so respectful of my stuff. But, like, I'd be building a Lego, and Emily would take, like, 4 pieces and not give them back for 4 days.
This is why me and Emily get along so well.
Like, I don't know, but, like, why would you do that?
Because we're devious like that.
Yeah, like...
I love it.
I don't know.
So you want to ask if you're ever going to get rid of your toys?
No, I would just say, like, is there some point that I have to kiss this life goodbye?
And it's coming up, let me tell you. We're going to get you a storage room, and you're going to pay $100 a month, and you're going to put all your crap there.
That's so sad.
Well, it's growing up, baby. But
that's pretty much it.
Alrighty, guys. Well, this was a definitely good session. I feel like these questions opened. We learned a lot about each other.
This felt like therapy.
This felt like therapy. We learned a lot about each other. But
namaste.
If you want to play a fun game with your partner, I suggest getting this game. Let's Get Deep. But that is a wrap for episode 8. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching us on YouTube. And please don't forget to leave us a review. Have an amazing week.